M228 grenade fuse, and a lot of people don't know you can actually reprime these, and I'm going to show you how real quick. How these work is basically you hold the grenade and pull a pin. Now the pin is just the safety. It's not armed until you let go of the handle. What happens is this little mechanism here, this hammer, spring-loaded hammer with a, let's see if I can show you that. Ow! See that knob there? It's kind of a hammer and firing pin assembly together. Strikes a primer and burns down through a powder train. Takes about 4 or 5 seconds and ignites the detonator, and the detonator sets off the high explosive inside the grenade. What you're going to do is when you get these, they should be inert, meaning the primer's struck and there's no powder in there. You're going to get a 3mm drill bit or something as close to it as possible. Drill it out from the bottom. So you're going to drill this way, going towards the primer. Then stick something in there that'll fit and pop the primer out. Then you're going to take a 6mm drill bit and you're going to drill down in here and make yourself a new primer pocket. The next step is you're going to get yourself some of this fuse, and I recommend American nitroglycerin coat or nitrocellulose coated Visco. The Chinese burns hot and it gets kind of messy, gets all over the place. So you're going to get a length of this fuse, and you want to stick it in from the bottom, going all the way up to about right underneath where your primer is going to sit in there. So you want to take your fuse, and you want to make sure that the end is cut on an angle. Don't cut it flat, don't cut it 90 degrees, cut it about 45-degree angle. This helps expose the powder core inside there. And you're just going to insert it like this. And if you can see inside there, you can't, but okay, you can see the top of the fuse there. You don't want it that high, you want it down about 2 centimeters below that maybe. And then you're going to cut it also on an angle. So next time you start your fuse, you've got your angle cut. So here we go, we stuck our new fuse in here and we've got it set to height. Actually it's about 1 centimeter below, planing with the top of that. So we've refused it now. Next thing is you're going to get yourself some of these 209 shotgun primers, and these are pretty overkill for priming a grenade, but the good thing about these is that they have a rim on them already. So all you're going to do is you're going to seat that primer down in the 6mm hole that you drilled. And we've reseated our primer. We've got it seated down in there nicely. So this fuse assembly is ready to go. All that needs to happen is that you pull the safety, which is a pin, pull your cotter pin, your hammer is going to flip, and it's going to hit the primer, and it's going to ignite the fuse and burn down into whatever you put the fuse into. Real quick, make sure that your primer is in there tight. Mine's not, because I drilled it out with a 15/64 drill bit because I didn't have a 6mm one. So I kind of tried to rim it out with a 15/64 and I made it too loose, so I don't use this. I use this for just demonstrating purposes only. But make sure you do use a 6mm drill bit so the primer fits in there and seats nice and tight. Now the last thing is when you do arm this, that primer is going to snap pretty loud. I shouldn't have to teach you how to hold a grenade. You can do that on your own, but you don't want your fingers above the handle. Don't want your thumb up here. Your fingers should be wrapped around the grenade, your thumb holding the handle down. You pull that ring, as soon as you let go of the handle, it's armed. You throw it overhead, or you throw it sideways, whatever. But don't let the primer scare you. In fact, I kind of like that it snaps pretty loud, because now you know that it's armed, and it'll start your powder train or your fuse. Something that's also probably going to happen when you use this is that if you use them and you reprime them over time, this assembly is going to fall out. There's a pin that holds a spring that the hammer's wrapped around. That's going to come out. I tried to stake this on here. I tried to stake that in, and it didn't really work out too well, and I ended up bending the sides of this. So you're just going to have to deal with that, or find a way to stake that in so that it doesn't want to slide out after continual use. I mean, really, these are made to use one time, and they're supposed to be destroyed, but you know, we're not putting these in a real grenade. In theory, you could do it, but don't. So I'm going to show you how loud these primers are. It's not that dangerous. I can't do this with one hand and hold the camera, so I'm just going to pull the hammer and show you. So you see, it's pretty loud, but there you go.